right, guys, quickly before we jump into the video, my team, KARNAGE Clan, just launched their very first ever G Fuel flavor. So you guys can now cop this collector box or just a tub of their energy formula for a nice discount using code SALTY. I would appreciate it if you guys would go over to gfuel.com and check out our brand new flavor. We're trying to get this so we can get other things like possibly some merch, maybe even some future things related to Call of Duty. So make sure you guys go over there, gfuel.com, check out POG Juice. It's absolutely awesome. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the Modern Warfare 3 beta. So I wanted to do a quick little video before I kind of feature any gameplay here on the channel, just covering my settings here for PS4, because these settings are also going to translate over into Xbox. I'm currently playing on a PS4, which, wish me luck, haven't played on a console in a very long time, but this beta looks far too interesting for me to blow it off. So let's jump through some settings and I'll show you exactly what you guys need to be running. All right, so you have three options here for controller. We're going to go through all of these settings here. I don't believe you can run mouse and keyboard. I haven't actually seen anybody running mouse and keyboard just yet, so I could be wrong on that. But I've seen a whole lot of controllers. So first things first, controller vibration. This is where you find it. My controller, it's a custom controller, doesn't have rumbles in it, so I don't actually need to turn this off. It's a preference though. That's just where you're going to find it if you want to turn it on or off. Over here in the controller tab, the first one there is where you're going to find your dead zones. So if you have to adjust anything, my left stick min is at 5, my left stick max is at 85. It just makes it easier to tack sprint. My right stick min is also at 5, and then my right stick max is at 99 there, but it's going to be whatever your controller's feeling. If you have drift to the right or left, or if you're having trouble sprinting, that's where you're going to need to adjust it for yourself. And now we're heading into aiming, which is going to be your sensitivities. I personally like mine at 8.8. I've been sitting at 8.8 for basically 4 years now. I've had no need to change. That's where I've found the most success and where I've been the most comfortable. But if you're still kind of trying to figure it out for yourself, I highly recommend that you start kind of fast. If you find yourself missing shots or it feels too touchy, keep bringing it down by 1 until it feels comfortable, and then bring it down to its 2 to where it's too slow and go back up. You'll end up finding your happy medium there. My personal preference here is going to be 8.8. So we're going to be heading down here. There is a sensitivity multiplier, but for some reason there's nothing here that you can really change other than tablet and ground sensitivity. I just left those alone. I don't even know what the tablet thing is supposed to do, but it doesn't affect your gameplay whatsoever unless you're driving a vehicle, which I don't think it's too big of a deal either. Vertical aim axis is just how you invert or uninvert something, so that's where you can find that. The tack stance sensitivity multiplier, I don't see myself personally using tack stance all too much because it requires you to hit down on the D-pad, and with slide canceling back, don't see it as something that I'm really going to use. But if you want to adjust how sensitive it is, that's where you're going to find that. I left that one completely alone. Now we're in the aim response curve type, and this is definitely something that you guys want to make sure you have turned on. You're going to want this on dynamic, and you're going to want it turned all the way up to 1. It's going to increase the strength, and obviously dynamic is that rotational aim assist. It's going to help you while enemies are running side to side by you. It's going to help you stay on track. So here is where your ADS sensitivity multiplier is for focus, aka sniper rifles. I have a feeling these are going to change because I believe you could crank this all the way up to 4 back in Modern Warfare 2. I'm not sure how sensitive it is. I'm not much of a sniper, but if you want to play with that, if you're a sniper, feel free to do so. That's where you're going to find that in the aiming tab. So custom sensitivity per zoom, this is where you're going to be adjusting it based on what you're using. This is, like I said, for the 4 to 5, this is where you're going to turn that up. I don't understand what the ADS whatever it is, but my ADS in low zoom and 2 to 3 times, that's basically the only optics I run, is a reflex sight or a 2 to 3 times scope. I have that turned down to 0.8. It just seems to be the perfect happy medium with the dynamic aim assist. We're going to stay on track with your enemies very, very well. So I highly recommend bringing that all the way down to 0.8. I leave the rest of these alone. If you're a sniper, this is where you're going to want to turn it up. Like I said, I believe you could crank that all the way up to 4. So target aim assist, make sure you have this turned on, and you're going to want the aim assist type at default. This is the same aim assist from Modern Warfare 2, where default ended up being the best towards the end of the game once they nerfed Black Ops. All of this is completely the same. It has stayed the same. So make sure you have default paired up with your dynamic aim assist curve type. Down here is motion sensor behavior. Don't know what this is yet. I'm sure we're going to find out, but just leave that alone for now. Heading over here to gameplay. So automatic tactical sprint is one that I personally like to run. Easy to slide cancel. You're not button jamming your controller. It's right at the top there of gameplay. So make sure you guys chuck that on because you're going to definitely save some controllers. It's going to definitely increase your overall gameplay experience. Auto move forward. Make sure you have that off. Tactical sprint behavior is double tap, but with automatic tactical sprint, doesn't really matter there. So grounded mantle, make sure you guys have that turned on and you want it set to partial. So that way you jump and you're not automatically mantling over everything unless you're, on top of it. So on and partial seems to be the happy sweet spot there. Invert, slide, and dive behavior here. So tap to slide, hold the dive. That's obviously what you're going to do. There's a lot of sliding in this game, unlike Modern Warfare 2. So if you tap your slide button, you're going to slide across the map. If you hold it, you're going to end up dolphin diving. Make sure you guys have that set at standard there. That's 100% what you're going to do. Sprinting door bash, make sure you have that on. Makes you sprint through those doorways. Now we're heading down here to all of this stuff. I didn't change absolutely any of this, but I'm just showing you on the screen. So if you guys want to check it out, you can do so. And I don't plan on driving any vehicles, so no big deal there. That's all my controller settings. Now we're heading over here to graphics. Not too much I really need to cover here because it's not like PC. There's not all too much. Make sure first and foremost, you do have on-demand texture streaming turned off. It says it quote unquote reduces your game quality, but what it's going to do is it's going to tank your internet and make you have things like packet burst, lag, stutter. Make sure you have that turned off. That's first and foremost when it comes to your graphic settings. Heading down to world motion blur and weapon motion blur. Sure, makes the game look realistic. I completely understand that, but we're not playing this game for realism. Let's be 100% honest. You're going to miss some enemies if you're spinning around in circles and you end up having that blur on the screen. Make sure you guys turn that off. Sure, like I said, realism, but that's not important if you're trying to get kills. Film grain, make sure you have that turned all the way down to 0. It will make your game look grainy. I'm not even sure why this is an option in this game. Makes 0 sense. Depth of field, make sure you have that turned off. And then for fidelity cast, this is your sharpening. I have personally mine set at 80 just because I'm on PS4. I've seen some PS5 people have it on 100, but for the PS4, I have it on 80 because it kind of looks grainy and a little choppy when it's set all the way to 100. My field of view is personally set at 110, but this is where you're going to find your field of view settings is in the graphics tab. So 110 is my sweet spot. I know a lot of the professional Call of Duty players, the CDL pros, go anywhere from 100 to 110. 110 seems to be my sweet spot. You can obviously go up to 120 if you so please. And the last attachment here, last setting here is first person camera movement. Make sure you have that turned all the way down to 50. What that's going to do is decrease your visual recoil because your guy's not going to be bobbing as much basically. And this is also where you find that inverted flashbang and safe area and brightness. Not much really I needed to cover there over in the graphics tab. Now in audio. So there's not too much I really need to discuss in this one either, but I might as well cover it. Headphone bass boost is going to be your best friend in this game. So make sure that's what you have selected. It's going to amplify the footsteps and you're going to be able to target where exactly they're coming from much easier compared to the rest of those options, especially if you have a pretty decent headset. I'm not talking like a $200 headset, but if you have like, an all right headset, that's going to be the best option for you. So for master volume, I obviously have mine set at 100 so I can hear everything going on around me. The only important setting here I would say you want to turn off is the gameplay music volume. Pretty simple here. You don't want to miss sound cues because there's music playing in the background. Sure, it gives it some sort of build up and hype around the map you're playing and it's cool and whatever. You're going to miss simple audio cues, whether that be footsteps, them hitting a barrel, shooting a gun, a silence weapon. Gameplay music is cool and all, but it's not necessary to end up winning the game and getting better as a player and getting killed. So make sure you turn that off. This is also where you find your menu music. It's called cinematic music volume. So if you don't like the menu music, that's where you're going to want to turn that off. Nothing else in audio here that really needs to be covered, but I'm going to quickly jump through it if you guys are looking for some stuff. Nothing too crazy, but let's get into one more setting I really want to cover. So I lied. There's a couple of things I want to cover. This is going to be in your interface settings, as you can see there. So subtitles, that's where you're going to find that. I personally have mine turned off. I don't care about the battle chatter going on around me. But what I really wanted to cover here is going to be your color customization. Every single year I get asked how I change the color of the enemies on the minimap, how I change the color of my teammates on the minimap. You're going to want to be in your HUD color palette and you want it set to custom. First and foremost, you want to scroll all the way down here and you want to go to color filter 2. Once you go to color filter 2, you're going to want to go to both and you're going to want to turn these both to 100. It's going to increase your game's vibrance and contrast along with saturation. Makes the game look much more poppy, much more sharp, and overall just a better experience on the eyes. And once you set all that up, you can change your colors to basically whatever you want. For example, if you click here, you can see we have a whole color wheel of anything you want to choose. So I have me set it yellow, my team set it blue. If I have someone in a party, they're going to be a little bit of a darker blue so I can distinguish between them and the random players in the game. My enemies are going to be set at green. Green, in my opinion, stands out the most. Even though you think of green as friendly, that lime green really stands out when you're playing the game. And the rest of the stuff really doesn't matter, but color customization, always get asked questions about that one. So we're heading down here. This is one of those that I really wanted to talk about as well. In your HUD category here of your interface is the mini-map shape. Make sure you have it set to square because it ends up making it a bigger just mini-map in general. I believe it comes stock circle. Make sure you set that up with square, and your map rotation is on there. Now the compass, I'm going to turn this off probably. Once I do a little playing around, I'm probably going to turn it off, especially with the red dots on the mini-map. Not really something that I want to cover. If you want to change your crosshairs, you also find that in interface here. You can change it to a center dot or a crosshair dot. There's a lot of things you can do with that to make it a better experience for yourself if you want to do that. Other than that, nothing left for me to really cover here. So let's talk a little bit. So that's cool. It reset me back to level 1. Nice. Don't know what's going on there. Probably gonna have to restart my game, but I just wanted to talk a little bit. I can't wait to share some gameplay with you guys. So make sure you guys hit the subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell. We're gonna have a bunch of gameplays coming out for you guys here throughout the beta. I'm gonna be featuring all the weapons as I possibly can throughout this weekend, and they're gonna be adding some new ones even into next weekend. So you guys get to see all of them live in action. Can't wait to drop some MGBs. Can't wait to show you guys all of these classic Call of Duty maps. It's gonna be an absolutely wonderful year. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.